It's simple. They know what they want and they're not afraid to go for it. Nothing stands in their way. Every time they get kicked in the head, they always get right back up.
I remember the first time I saw them. They were in a room. I remember talking and thinking to myself, they're gonna be something someday. I just didn't know what.
It was like they were meant to do what they're doing. It just took them so long to get there.
Hundreds of people try to make it in the entertainment business. Hundreds. But let me tell you something right now. 99% of those people, they don't make it. They don't have the guts. They don't have the determination. They don't have the drive. But Dex, Dove, and Dud, they have it.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, a city like any other city, with its rival gang wars, disturbing murders, colorful graffiti, and childish arson incidents. A city with leaky sewer pipes, but also a city that became home to 3 courageous and passionate young men. On June 14th, 1977, after a 2-day laborious birth process at Jack's Joint for the Sick and Dying, Mary and Ricky Miller became the disappointed parents of Dex Miller.
Nobody pushes Dex around. The whole birth process was a piss-off. First of all, there were no doctors around, and the ones that were forgot about me. Second, I got shit on because I punched the doctor after he smacked my ass to try to make me cry. Dex cries for no one. And to end it all off, my parents, the first words they said to me was that was a mistake. Screw it. I'm not going through that birth process again.
It was here, at this simple and quiet home, that Dex was brought to start his life with Mary, Ricky, and a number of cockroaches.
What can I say? The place wasn't exactly a palace. But Dex Grant, he's a survivor. Piss. I'm gonna have to step out for a second. Old Dex here has to clean up a bit of a spill. God.
All that I can remember from my birth is very little, actually. I was born on July 27th, 1977, to Nick and Claire Axton. The one thing I do remember from my birth, though, is when I was first introduced into this world. I remember clearly saying to the doctor, "Excuse me, sir, I'm a wee tad cool. Could you please get me a blanket?" Instead, he dropped me on the floor and ran out of the room. Now, later on, I heard he had a bit of a gambling addiction, so that could, explain it a bit. Maybe he went to play the slots, something like that. I don't know. What I have here, actually, is the first photo of my first house. This is where I was first brought home to. There's a lot of emotion that ran through these boards. Some good, some bad. One of the memories that I do have is when my father would light fires to try and keep me warm. And sometimes the fires would get a little bit out of control, the flames would get a little too high, and the roof would actually catch on fire. Come to think of it, we went through quite a few roofs, actually.
Hell, man, it was crazy. All I remember about my birth is trying to pick up a couple of haughty nurses. Got a couple of phone numbers or something. I guess they thought I was just a cute kid.
Here at Sally's Slice and Dice Medical Center, Dud was born. He was created by Lou and Beatrice Buckton, and it was 2 a.m. on August 13th, 1977, that he was first seen. Like Dex and Dove, Dud was also brought home to a broken-down old wooden shack.
I don't think there's a lot of coin lying around, but, you want to see my first diaper? Sheesh. Should have seen the rashes this thing would leave.
A year later, in 1978, things suddenly changed for the boys when they were placed in a foster home known as Betty Nutbag's Home for Unwanted Children.
Whatever Mary and Ricky say is bull. They don't know what they were giving up when they let Dex go. I mean, yeah, I was a bit of a pyro. But what kid isn't?
Those boys came to me absolutely filthy, dirt from head to toe. I could see they needed to be calmed down and cared for. So, after I gave them a bath and got rid of that horse manure smell, that's exactly what I did.
You know, it was weird, man. I was so used to sleeping on the floor. Once I had the bed, I didn't know what the hell to do with it. You know, the first year I had it, I must have fallen off a couple hundred times.
There was a lot of emotions running through us. Anger, sadness, possibly even joy. For once in our life, it looked like we'd actually be fed real food. But deep down, we were very much open to new experiences. Having a new floor to crawl on.
Right away, those boys connected. There wasn't any doubt in my mind that they wouldn't become very close. In fact, I was a little worried they might become a little too close, if you catch my drift. But that could have just been my medication having its effect on me.
For the next 2 years, these halls became home for Dex, Dove, and Dud. But on September 7th, 1980, the boys' lives were about to change once again. A young couple by the names of Mason and Cynthia Grant were looking to adopt, and they found themselves at Betty Nutbag's door.
The real problem was Mason's stormtroopers couldn't win the battle. We wanted a couple of rugrats running around.
It has nothing to do with me. Cynthia's the one to blame here. She was all upset about the whole birth process thing as if it was the worst thing a woman could go through. I was the one who brought up the whole idea of adoption.
When Mason and Cynthia first came to me, I displayed at least 100 children for them. I didn't even think about Dex, Dove, and Dud. But the first time Mason and Cynthia laid eyes on them, they were hooked. Kind of like the way a junkie becomes addicted to powerful painkillers.
Instantly, Dex, Dove, and Dud were adopted and brought home to the Grant household. The boys had found their third home.
Yeah, it was really weird, man. I had way more space to move around in. I only managed to fall down the stairs no more than 100 times.
Those 3 kids damn near drove me crazy when we brought them home. It was like they were 2 bricks short of a load or something. Way too excited. They were just running around, bumping into things, tripping over each other. Thankfully, they all ran into each other and knocked each other out.
For the first month, the Grants were a happy little family. But soon the situation grew grim as Mason became unstable.
Those little shits damn near drove me up the wall. They're awful. They're immature. They're always running around. They couldn't keep still for more than 3 hours. Who needs that?
I should have known better that Mason wouldn't be a strong father figure. My first hint should have been when they first came to me looking to adopt. I clearly remember Mason asking if they could purchase a few kids. I just never clued in, but again, it could have been the medication I was abusing.